guys, welcome back. So today I have a video for anyone that is a newer witch, a baby witch, and also just anyone that is new on their spiritual journey. I want to share something with you guys and share a little portion of my personal story just to kind of shed some light on something that I wish that I knew back then. And honestly, if I could, I would go back and tell my little 21 or 22-year-old self this piece of information. Because if I listened, it could have changed a lot for me. And what I'm talking about is if you are starting on your spiritual journey, one of the first things that you need to do is not buy a certain crystal or a tarot deck or find a spiritual teacher, okay? You need to sit down and write down all of your pain points, okay? Be real with yourself. Any past trauma that you've been through, any issues that you currently have, things like that. And also anything that makes you vulnerable, okay? And I'm going to share my story with you all so that you can kind of understand what I'm talking about and why this is so important. One thing that y'all need to understand is when you start on your spiritual path, in the spiritual realm, you are seen as a baby. You are seen as fresh meat. Especially if you're getting into it for the right reasons, and also if you're someone that you have a lot of light. Okay, because anyone that has a lot of light, you are just a power source. There are not only spiritual predators living in the physical realm, but there's also predators in the spiritual realm that also use the spiritual predators to do their bidding. I firmly believe that 99% of spiritual predators are possessed by lower level spirits. But anyway, in the physical and the spiritual realm, you need to learn how to protect yourself. And the easiest way that you can protect yourself is be aware of these things so that no low-level person or spirit can use them against you. Because that's exactly what happened to me. Not once, but twice. And if I had taken a second to acknowledge the fact that I needed a lot of healing, I could have saved so much time and energy and money and avoided a lot of suffering. Okay. What happened to me was I was 21 and my dad passed away. Super unexpectedly. And his passing is basically what jump-started my spiritual journey. Because I wanted some way to be able to connect with him again. Because my dad raised me, he was a single parent. When he passed away, I was in college and he was putting me through school. He was taking care of me. My dad was my best friend. And over time, I realized that I could hear him, see him, feel him, connect with him, but I wanted more. Because I knew even back then, like, I was just starting and my abilities were not at their full potential, but I still wanted to communicate with my dad. So I found a certain psychic who's also a witch, a medium, and she was offering ancestor readings. And I started going to her. And I went to her consistently and was under her guidance for a little under a year. And I found out later that she was trying to siphon from me. And very, very long story short, she had a coven. I had joined the coven, but about a month in, I realized it just wasn't working at all. I was feeling drained all the time, and at first I just thought, it was the other girl's negativity, or some kind of awakening of mine. It was actually her trying to siphon from me. But regardless, I made the correct decision of leaving the coven. And I was as respectful and honest as I could possibly be about this situation. And she was pissed. Livid. And now I see why. Because she saw me as a huge energy and power source. And, she was so mad that I left that she tried to throw witchcraft at me. And we'll call her person number 1, okay? So person number 1 tried to throw work at me. I was completely blindsided. Had never been through that. So I sought out help for a cleansing. I come across person number 2. They also ended up being a spiritual predator. Both of these people preyed on the fact that, like, it was a perfect storm. Because I was vulnerable, because not only had I lost my dad, I didn't have any real support system besides them. Like, both of these people were each in my life a little under a year. And during that time, especially person number 2, they were my support system for the most part. And I never abused that, because I've always tried to deal with my issues on my own, but they were a focal point in my life, right? And they also preyed on the fact that I had a lot of money, because when my dad passed away, thank God, he left resources behind so that I was not homeless and on the streets after he passed. But they saw that I had all that money and tried to extract it from me. Not just by me directly paying them for things, but also on an energetic level. They were doing spell work and shit, trying to energetically siphon my finances and my blessings in general. And also trying to use me personally as a power source. And I wish that I could go back and just take my time when it came to finding a spiritual teacher. I really do. Because even though, thank God, on the 3rd try, I ended up in good hands with the godparents that I have now. I had to spend so much time healing from their BS. But the truth is, I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything about spiritual predators or psychic vampirism or spiritual warfare or anything like that when I first started. And I just figured that everyone that's a spiritual person was a good person. And I thought that everyone was on the spiritual journey for the same reasons as me, for good reasons, which is healing, protection, blessings, connection to God, etc., right? It's not the case. A lot of people see it as a shortcut, as a way to manipulate people, as a way to hurt other people and get control. And my goal for y'all, especially lately and moving forward, is to be the guide that I wished that I had when I first started. Because if you have a lot of blessings, and you have these beautiful, powerful spiritual gifts within you, but you also have a lot of pain that you refuse to work through, it's very easy for people and low-level spirits to take advantage of you. You know? And I am a loner. But I still acknowledge that especially back then, like, I could have really used a support system. But I was kind of at this crossroads because I was finally at that point in my life where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to be true to myself, and I don't want to be around anybody that doesn't appreciate me for who I am. So I didn't have anyone in my life that I felt safe to trust as my support system. So I just isolated, you know, which made me more vulnerable. So isolation, like, I was isolated, I had a lot of money, I was dealing with grief, I was young. Both of those people saw me as a meal ticket, energetically. And it ultimately caused me to lose a lot. I had a luxury car, and I lost it. And to a lot of people, you know, it was just a Mercedes. And to me, like, from the day that I got that car, it was never just a car. It was, or a status symbol. It was a tangible thing that represented the hard work of my ancestors. Because growing up, my grandpa and grandma always had Mercedes. My dad always had Mercedes, and it was just like a tradition of ours. And my ancestors worked very hard for that money. And good, honest, hard work. You know? But I think that I had to go through that, all that loss and hardship and siphoning so that I can prevent other women from dealing with it in the first place if I can. And also, if they've already been through that, I can help show them, like, it's possible to rebuild your life even after encountering and falling victim to the worst type of evil in this world. I am living, breathing proof. And my candle just popped, so confirmation. I am living, breathing proof that the most evil type of people can try to spiritually attack you and work you for days, weeks, months, years on end, and try to take from you and block your blessings, and ultimately try to unalive you, right? And you can beat all of it. Not only can you beat it, you can also rebuild your fucking life better than it ever was before. And now I have something that I didn't have when I had the huge house and the luxury car and the 6 figures in the bank. I have knowledge and experience and embodiment of everything that I've learned. So now I won't squander my blessings. I won't allow my blessings to fall victim to a fucking predator. Okay? So just be self-aware. Take inventory of your pain points. If you need help with your spiritual healing, I am here for y'all. You can either schedule a singular spiritual healing session with me. It's 90 minutes, and the cost is $333, and you can book that at sirensnectar.com/booking. Or if you want something more long-term and you need ongoing support, you can purchase a spot within my healing container. It's called Soul Reclamation with Nikki, and there's only 3 spots available. It is one-on-one. It is not a group package or a group container. And in that container, there's weekly phone calls with me where we kind of talk you through stuff. I do a little bit of divination to see what's going on with you energetically and just help you move through pain and blockages and trauma, you know. And I also offer a 12-week tarot and witchcraft mentorship where I give you a really, really strong spiritual foundation of cleansing, protection, ancestor veneration, tarot, and then after we kind of move past those basics, we move into the more fun stuff like money magic and love spells and glamour rituals and all that. And you can see more information at sirensnectar.com/mentorship. And that one, I believe there's 4 spots available. It's also one-on-one. Okay? And if you have any questions, just comment down below. But I really, really hope that this enlightens someone. Like, if I can prevent another soul from going through the hell that I went through at the hands of these assholes, that's good enough for me. That makes everything that I went through worth it, because I do not want y'all to go through that shit if you can help it. Me personally speaking, I firmly believe that it was just part of my soul's journey, and there was a kind of soul contract in place so that I could go through that and learn and not make those mistakes again. But that's just half the game. You know, the other part was rebuilding my life and also helping other women to not deal with that bullshit. And if they do, I want to help y'all rebuild your life. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is you're still here. As long as you are still breathing, you can rebuild your life and do better. Okay? I love y'all.